welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you guys could be here. I want to get into a really quick story time. Before that though, I want to give a quick shout out to Bestie because she's the one who, after talking to her, she faithfully watches my videos, always gives me recommendations on what to share with you guys. And this time, my first Brazilian wax. Yes, Brazilian wax. So I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what possessed me because I don't even get my eyebrows waxed. I usually handle my eyebrows myself, but something told me, okay, you know, your birthday's coming up, birthday prep, let's do something different. And I was thinking, what can I do? I checked my email just randomly one day, and there was a promotion going on at the spa that I usually go to. And basically, you know, if you called within a certain amount of time, you know, if you're the first, however, whatever, you could get a free Brazilian. So they chose me. I won, I guess you could say. I was very excited about that experience because I really never usually win stuff like that. But you know what? God has been really showing up for me because that's been happening more and more lately for me. So shout out to God. But going now to the spa, it was immaculate. The ambiance, I love it. It also came with a complimentary mimosa, which was great. I love that spa because it's a little Black-owned place, and I'm absolutely in love with supporting my community. So I get in there. I'm very comfortable with myself, my body, all that stuff. So when they're like, all right, take off your pants, you know, get up on the table. I took off my pants, you know. Question. Who else, or should I say who doesn't, fold their panties in their pants and then hide their panties in their pants when they are getting a wax or at the OB or at your midwife or whatever the case is? Why do we do that? Who am I? She's already seeing everything. Literally. Everything. You know what? Anyway, so I folded up my panties. I put them away. And I put on the robe. They also had a sanitary wipe for me, so I went ahead and I wiped, and everything's moving and shaking. I get on the table, I let them know, hey, I'm ready to go through this. So she comes in, and immediately I'm like, well, look, I have my expectations, but this is my first time, so please just whatever you can do, please make it a good experience for me because I am nervous. And you know, you build up that anticipation and that like fear in your mind, like, oh my God, how is this gonna go? Because I know what a wax is supposed to do. But for those who don't know what a Brazilian wax is, it's basically when you remove all of your hair that's on your vagina. And a little bit on the thighs, and if you want, on your butthole as well. So I mean, there's different configurations. You could do like landing strip or like, you know, however you want to do it. So we were discussing my goals, like what I wanted to get out of it, and I just said go ahead with the full Brazilian. I'm already here, we might as well just jump right into it. So I'm laying down. She's like, go ahead and butterfly, and I'm like, all right, I do that. She starts to apply the wax, and you know, I'm like, okay, I can do this, and she takes that first piece off, and you know what, I really was surprised. I was really surprised. I really said, wow, okay, I like psyched myself out, like I can do this. She, you know, went in a top-down approach. So like, again, that first piece, I'm like, what, bruh, what is this? Like, oh yeah, I'm Gucci, I'm gonna be fine, everything's gonna be good. The wax is nice and warm, soothing. She put on like this powder or whatever, and that really helped too. So everything is fine. I'm like, yes, let's get into it, let's get it done. Now, like I said, a top-down approach. Now when she started going further down, that's when we started getting a little, I started to sweat, and I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. I started sweating because I was so nervous. Thank God they had more feminine wipes. So I was like, okay, let's get into it. Now the thighs, the outer or the inner thigh, excuse me, part, that easy peasy. I had no sweat. I didn't even flinch. I didn't jump. But let me tell you something. That labia majora, so the bigger, the labia majora is the outer. Then you have labia minora, which is the inner lips. That labia majora, baby, she had to do it in literally 2 pulls, because that first pull, it was still attached at the top. So I wish I could put in, let's see if I can kind of do like a diagram or something. That first pull, when I tell you, I was like, hold on. She got about halfway up, and then I was so sure that I was leaving with that wax still on me. I was sure. She had to end up getting scissors and cutting the wax, the piece, in half, because I needed a break. She had to just go to the other side. Now, tell me why the same thing happened on the other side. Halfway, and that little top part, the topmost part, which I should have known was going to be a problem, because that's where my hair typically is the longest anyway, TMI, whatever. And also, I was educated. I love this about my Black ladies and my Black estheticians, anyone who's Black who understands what it's going to be like for me, because you go to people who don't understand your type of hair, because my hair is coarse, my hair is very thick, very curly, so I don't want to get any kind of ingrown hair or anything like that, because I don't know if you ever had to deal with the ingrown hair, but it's a no. Like, it's very painful, very uncomfortable, it's very sensitive and very tender. So I knew I couldn't just leave here with the wax on my front. Like, I knew I couldn't leave like that. But when I say that we had to take a literal break, I don't know who else, if you've ever gotten a Brazilian wax before, let me know in the comments how long it took. But I was in there for an hour because we had to take a break. And then we went little by little, going and pulling up what she could, and if she couldn't get no more, she would trim the wax. At one point, she had to apply more wax to make a larger piece so she had a better grip on it. Because I was screaming. I remember in one position, the way she had to turn onto the table and have her arms to pull with the grain. So you're not supposed to go against the grain. You're supposed to go, with the direction of the hair growth, so that you can pull it out, safely in the least amount of pain. And so she was over top and trying to go with the direction of the hair, and the way that I had my legs, when I tell you that my foot ended up somehow inside of her scrub top sleeve. I don't even know what motion had to have happened for my foot to end up in her sleeve. But I promise you, I was just like, all right, wait. That's when I was like, again, I'm like, okay, I'm really going to leave here with this wax still attached. That's how I'm leaving here. That's how I'm walking out. That's it. There's nothing you can tell me. So she's talking to me through the whole time. She's got the aloe. She's got some oil. She's like applying aloe to like soothe the area, oil, all that stuff. And God bless her, because that was very necessary. And so after we really just woosah out, she helps me with my breathing. I do some deep breaths. We go back and we go ahead and we attack, and we get the last 2 pieces off. And I remember saying to her, it was so funny. I said, listen, whatever you do, when you pull this wax off, you make sure you leave the lip behind, because I cannot, the way that it felt, I swear to you, you could have told me that the lip was going to come off too. Like, I was so shocked. But thankfully, it came off. At the end of the day, I'm smooth, I'm good, everything was nice. I'm waiting to see what the regrowth pattern is looking like, or how that is going to be impacted. So overall, I give the experience a 10 out of 10, only because I truly did learn a lot about myself, about the actual process of getting a Brazilian wax. And I learned that you have to exfoliate 3 days, well, not too soon, but yes, 3 days after you get your wax. If things are not tender, of course you don't want to exfoliate inflamed skin, but if things are not tender, on that 3rd day you can go ahead and exfoliate, because you want to encourage, especially for sisters with coarse hair, you want to encourage that new hair follicle to be able to get through the skin. You want to be applying your moisturizers and softening the skin, and you want to make sure no way, no how you get an ingrown hair, because again, like I mentioned, very uncomfortable. Like, you just don't want to get that. So I learned a lot. I literally feel super smooth. I'm like so shocked at the actual transformation. The pain, again, it was like mostly psychological. I really psyched myself out until that last little area, which it was painful, but not like what you would imagine, not like what you would think. So now I also know that your hair can be too long to wax, so you should really, I was advised that when you have a 3 o'clock shadow, not a 5 o'clock shadow, like 3 o'clock shadow, so before it gets too long, you want it to be like 1/4 of an inch, and then you can get a wax, because the hair can be too short to wax, but when you're in that nice, you don't want it to be too long because it will be more painful. And in that area right around the top, let me tell you something, it was too long and it was painful. But again, nothing like what I imagined. Like, no 40-year-old virgin, no bleeding, screaming, oh my God, bleeding. No, there definitely was none of that. She was very attentive to, like, okay, we need a break. All right, I'm going to walk you through it, and like holding my hand basically through the whole process and educating me along the way. So sister to sister, I'm glad that I had that experience. I don't know. I do not know if I'll do it again, but it really depends, because overall I feel like now that I know what to expect, it will be much easier next time because I've learned from all my mistakes. So overall, do I recommend getting a Brazilian wax? I don't know if I can recommend it. You really have to do some soul searching and find out if that is something that you want. For me, again, I still rank it a 10 out of 10, even though it was uncomfortable, because sometimes you got to get outside your comfort zone and experience new things. And, you know, now I'm able to share this story with you guys. And if you've ever had a Brazilian, or if you have had a story that you want to share, leave me a comment. I can't wait to talk to you guys and know what your experiences were. Let me know what works best for you, or anything that you notice about your regrowth pattern or anything like that. And maybe I'll do an update video to this once I have some more to go on as far as regrowth is concerned. So guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and definitely leave me a comment. Let me know if you have an experience that was similar to my experience, or if you have any topic that you want me to talk about or discuss. Let me know.